Hi there, Green Thumb Gardener here today, and today I'm going to be talking about the future of food. So, right now there's a population of 7 billion people in the world, and if we keep on populating the way that we are, then we're probably going to see about 9 billion people by the year 2050. And we're already having a little bit of problems feeding ourselves right now, so we'll have more of a problem in the future unless we adapt certain different techniques of growing. So we're probably going to be doing a lot of vertical gardening because then we could utilize space upward because we're taking up a lot of space on the ground, with a lot of buildings, roads, shopping malls, and things like that. So we'll probably also use that uh, as an aquaponics system. So we would be fertilizing the plants and the herbs and the green leafy vegetables using fish and the waste products that they produce. And then you could also eat the fish and stuff. And so then a lot of the things would be all using drip system. So the new irrigation would be drip, and we wouldn't see so much of the traditional irrigation using sprinklers anymore. And that could save quite a bit of water. And we'll also probably have to start eating insects, because they could grow very fast and you could grow them in a small area and they have a lot of protein and nutrients that people might need in a certain part of the world where they are. We'll have to adapt farming techniques called permaculture, which is using the way nature works and giving back to the way nature wants and had it, where they would be growing a tree and then growing some herbs underneath, and maybe having some chickens running around fertilizing things, and having the everything utilized in the garden and all the waste products, reusing that and having meaningful purpose for it in the garden that would benefit the environment, giving home to wildlife and things like that. And we'll probably start by getting off of these chemical fertilizers and start using more, natural fertilizers, people growing things in their yard, because that's really where the change happens is in your yard. That's where the genetic diversity is. And, with all these monocultures of lawns, some of that genetic diversity is going away. And, then it leads to, the GMOs, the rise of the GMOs, which already seems like it's happening right now because um, they're trying to genetically modify the banana. There's all these new diseases and viruses and funguses and insects that keep on coming in. And it almost makes me think that these companies are inserting these so that they could get rich and, control the food. And that would take it out of the people's hands and put it into their hands because of all these patents and stuff. So I also do see a lot of GMOs in the future. I think that they could be a good thing, like developing more nutritious plants. And then along with GMOs, we'll probably see these robot fruit pickers that could pick apples from a tree without bruising it and things like that. And we'll have to think about changing the way that we eat, where we would be eating things that give us more protein and stuff, but not necessarily meat sources. They're getting better and better at making fake meat, like fake chicken and things like that. And because by producing all this meat, it produces a huge amount of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, and that is what causes global warming, one of the reasons. And so we might start thinking about, having more vegetables in our diet, where they might not all be vegetables, maybe, some would be insects, some would be meat, and some would be plants. But, we'll probably have to focus on being more sustainable, so we won't have all this food from all these different places. We would be eating the local food, whatever is grown locally at the time. And then we would reduce our carbon footprint by not having to drive to all these places. And we'll have to use things that are adapted to our climate. We need to come together and really think about what we want to do and how we want to do it. That's what my prediction is for the future. Hope you enjoyed watching. All right, happy gardening.